Hello everyone, going to cover 3 games today that I played recently. So let's jump in. So this first one, um, let's just jump into the analysis board. Played as Sicilian. This was against a 1330. I had a couple of losses as well, so I'm still hovering around about 1300 right now, but I was quite happy with some of the games I played, including this one. So fairly standard stuff to begin with. All book moves so far. And even here, I've got a slight advantage, minus 0.38, and I found this move, which essentially just wins a pawn, I think. So I'm threatening the bishop, and yes, they can trade here, but then I can trade here, we're exchanging queens, and we end up in this position where I'm up a pawn, and it's pretty clean. It's actually -1. I was a little bit worried about my king position, but given that the queens are off the board, you know, I figured I'd go for this. Try and get some sort of endgame. However, things started to go wrong around about here. I was struggling to figure out how to get my pieces into the game. Like, all my pieces are still on the starting squares. My king's in the middle of the board, slightly concerning. So I think my idea was maybe get the bishop here. But unfortunately, that runs into this, and I'm now forced to move my rook and drop the pawn back. So here, I've actually lost all my advantage. What I should have done back here is just develop the bishop here, and that maintains my advantage. I guess maybe the king comes here, defending this pawn. Maybe swing the rook over, not sure. Bring the knight out, that sort of thing. So this just gives up everything, unfortunately. This is going the wrong way. In fact, I should have blocked with the knight, but I was a little bit worried about that, like thinking, they're going to gang up on this knight, but apparently that's okay. I can probably just play king here again. But I went for this, which is kind of dangerous. I'm walking into potential threats here. They've got the right idea, and they're completely winning here. Well, plus 1.16. In theory, it's a win, but they still play. So now I'm just desperately trying to get my pieces into the game. And fortunately for me, white blundered, playing bishop c2. And I, however, didn't find the right idea. Bishop d5 is actually best. Bishop d5. That's a strange looking move. I guess it's threatening the rook is the idea. So if they take here, I get the rook. Did not see that. And so that's quite hard to see. Don't know if any of you saw that, but I was like, okay, I'm just going to trade, hope for the best. I'm at least creating some sort of weakness over here. Trying to get my pieces into the game again. That's not the right idea. I should have played rook here. Not sure about that. This wasn't the best from them. I mean, it makes sense. They're trying to double up on my knight. So I decided to move my knight, but I should have actually just played back here. This was the best move, but, there's no way I was going to play that move. It's a very, it's very unpleasant to waste 2 moves with your knight, when you're trying to get developed. And So I went here, and this unfortunately gives the advantage squarely back to white again. However, they're not taking advantage of it. They should have immediately played f4, and I think I saw that after I played this, and I was a little bit worried about this move. Thankfully, they didn't play it. But again, I'm just not finding the best idea. I should have now prevented f4, which makes sense. But I think I had ideas of this, perhaps. And now they find f4. However, this pawn's hanging. I mean, this is probably the only move. I guess I could go here. But it's a free pawn, although I was a bit worried about this. They threw in the check. However, I spotted that I had a bit of a resource here when they take the knight of this move. So they're not actually winning a piece. However, they are winning a pawn, so now the pawns are equal again, and we're just in a completely drawn endgame. And this is where, I'm quite pleased with the way I played from here on out in this game. That previous sequence of moves, starting with, I think when my rook got hit by the bishop, was pretty bad for me, I would say. But I kind of redeemed myself, I think. I found a lot of good moves in the end game. That wasn't best, but it's still okay. And again, it's completely drawn. But I was just sort of maneuvering around, playing decent moves, conscious of the fact I've got a pawn majority over here, which maybe I can mobilize at some point. So again, just maneuvering. And here, white messed up. And I was able to, spot the fact that my king's coming in this way, and there's just nothing they can do about this. And then I'm going to push these pawns, and I'm going to be able to convert this. So, yeah, it's just completely winning now. There's not a lot white can do. Decided to do this. And played that move just to pull their king away a bit further. And I'm getting these pawns. And now, I think around about here, I just calculated it out. I was like, right, can I leave this pawn, get over here fast enough, take this pawn and push my pawn before the king can take this pawn and get back over? And I calculated it correctly that I can in fact do that. So this is just completely winning. Nothing can be done here. And, I'm just one move in time. So it was very critical that that was calculated correctly. But yeah, quite happy with that one. Going back to the review, I did make a couple of mistakes. And one miss. No blunders. 88.7 accuracy. Yeah, not too bad. I did have a few blips in the middle game. That sequence of moves was really bad at one point. Could have potentially lost that one, but managed to come back, grinded out the end game. Quite happy with that. So on to the next one. So we're now going to look at this game. This was against someone called Rick Caldum from Venezuela. Let's jump into this. This was a 92% accuracy game. Pretty solid against a 1337. Jump to the analysis. So this was London. And very happy with the way I played this one. So immediately they played this move, which is not right for black. And I know that's not right. So I was quite happy to see that. I just kept developing. I kind of messed up a little bit here. I'm not that familiar with this. This is quite a common idea in London for black to attack this pawn, and I didn't really deal with it that well, I think. Like they came in, they're attacking my rook. I did find the right idea, but I sort of thought I'd made a mistake here by giving up this pawn, but apparently it's just completely crushing for white. I should have taken here first. But this is a good move apparently. It's apparently the only move for white. And black's now in big trouble. Okay, I should have played the pawn forward. I guess grabbing more space makes sense. Decided to develop instead, tempo. And castled. Just look at my position, everything's developed. And black, what's black doing? You know, their queen's sort of out of place now. They've got a knight developed, their king's in the middle of the board. All their other pieces are undeveloped. And this is just completely crushing for white. This is what you want with the London. They're now trying to get developed. Should have played this immediately. However, I found it on the next move, and I am in fact threatening to win this knight. Or check here. In fact, I could have checked here straight away. And then what's the follow-up to that? Did I just take this? And I guess I've just misplaced the king a little bit. Fair enough. I decided to take first. They saved the knight. I should have played e6. Free pawn, hitting the rook, hitting the knight, and there's not a lot black can actually do about that. They played this move. Knight d8 is best, but that just hangs the rook. I mean, this is just game over. So anyway, they played that. I took the knight with check, and you know the king sort of has to run this way. In fact, it can't run that way. This is forced mate in 4, so this is forced because the bishop's covering this, and I take the rook. Queen has to block again. I take. Oh, interesting. Bishop e6. And the rook comes in, checkmate. Nice. So yeah, that was that one. Quite pleased with that. Fairly high quality game for me. Like I said, there were a couple of losses. Might look at those another time. But I'm going to look at this final game that I played to get me back over 1300, I think. So I went down to 1298 after this one. So this one was to come back 1300. Let's jump into this. This is another Sicilian. And I really quite liked this game as well. Felt like I played pretty strong. This is a common move that you see quite a lot of people playing, and most of the time it's wrong for white. Certainly in this position it is. You can just take that. And we're developing the tempo. That's best. So my opponent's playing okay. I've got a very slight advantage here. Nothing major. Went for this. Wanted to get my bishop in the game. Should have played just my knight out. It's still good. That's the best move for white. So well done to them for finding that. I should have again developed my knight. This was nice. I think I actually maybe missed that one. Here, I should have moved the queen here. Which, not sure about. I guess maybe in some lines it's eyeing up this pawn, like if they castle. And then this would be a threat. Yeah, okay. But that's still true in this case. So I'm not quite sure why this is better than this. My queen must be vulnerable here somehow. I'm not quite seeing how right now, but I'm sure there's something there. So here, knight d5, yeah. So this idea, well, knight d5 was best. Anyway, the advantage is very slight. I ended up playing this. Not much different. And white just went slightly wrong. I found the right square for the knight. This is now a double attack on the bishop. Opening up this bishop. And they just sort of went wrong here. So they're attacking my queen. However, this comes with check. So this is not good for them. They decided to take with the knight, which is actually best. So there was no threat against the queen. And essentially, you know, they're now running into some serious issues on the light squared. Squares around the king. This battery is very nice. Material's still equal. They're walking into a pin. And this is just completely crushing for black. Didn't find the best move there. Knight d7. Apparently better. I guess maybe... Is this an idea? Or f5. Yeah. Okay. Just decided to do this instead. It's still okay. It's not the best, but they're playing okay. A couple of nice moves there they found. Now I played f5, and that's actually a mistake in this position. I should have played bishop c7. Just stepping out of the attack. But I was sort of thinking, ooh, you know, isn't this knight now pinned sort of here? Well, it's not actually, no, because there's two defenders, but... went for this anyway. Now, I've thrown away most of my advantage, but it's still slightly better for black. Now it's getting better again for me. But I'm playing not perfectly again. Queen c6. I should have just moved the queen back, resumed this threat. This, however, is just wrong. So again, I should have just moved back. And then they're forced to come back again. And that's just a really nice position for black. However, I went for this. So what did I calculate here? So after takes, I come in with the queen. And this is just game over, I think. Yeah, their position's just collapsing. And there's nothing they can do about it, really. They have to give up the queen, otherwise they're getting mated. So they can't actually take that knight. However, it is an inaccuracy. I should have just moved the queen back. But this is still very, very close to winning. They, you know, and when you put people, your opponent, in this under this kind of pressure to respond to a move like this, where they're going to get mated if they do the wrong move, they often make mistakes at this level, and this is what happened. So they messed up here. And now I found this, which is apparently a brilliant move. Just threatening to bring the rook in. That's okay from them. And then the rook just comes in, and this is just devastating. And rook takes is correct. Queen takes actually loses, because the rook's now defending. So you have to take with the rook. And then, well, actually, I should have just taken the rook here. Bishop takes, and then I'm probably picking up another piece or something. Yeah, picking up the knight. And their king's just completely open. Plus we're up a couple of pawns as well. However, I went for this. It's still okay, still winning. And they messed up again, and it's just getting worse and worse for white. And there's no coming back for them now. And they've got to find something very accurate here to not lose. So they actually have to take here, and that's just going to be losing anyway. It might take another 20-30 moves, but I'm going to win that position if they give up their queen. So they went for this instead, which is now forced mate. And I found the right moves, although here queen g4 was faster. Yeah, so that would be mate quicker. Missed that, went this way instead, but then this is forced mate in one. So yeah, 3 nice wins there, I feel. If we look at the game review for that one, one mistake is all that happened in that game. 86 accuracy. Yeah, fairly happy with that. All 3 of those games I felt were pretty convincing wins. One of them was like a grind in the end game. So it's good to have games like that sometimes where you're forced to show a little bit of end game technique. That's good. Yeah. Onwards and upwards. I mean, we're still sitting around 1300, but I feel like, I'm competing well at this level. Admittedly, my opponent in this game was only 1169, but, the other games were against 1300 players, and, I'm having okay results, and yeah, I'm going to keep going. So, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please like and subscribe. If you're enjoying this chess journey that I'm on and want to continue supporting me, that'd be much appreciated. And yeah, take care of yourselves, enjoy your chess, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye for now.